Between brutal cuts, humiliating predictions, and wild front office bets, Browns fans are about to ride an emotional roller coaster. Some moves seem insane, but might just be genius. Others? Nobody understands them. Yet. What the hell are they doing with our team? Is this the start of a comeback, or just another crash and burn? You're going to want to stick around until the end. So grab a seat, hit that like, and let's dive into one of the most intense days of the Browns offseason. Imagine kicking off the season with the media already saying you'll repeat last year's disaster. That's where the Browns stand right now. Sayer Bettinger from NFL Spin Zone didn't just predict a 3-14 record again. He said the team would be lucky to win 3 games. Lucky. And he's dead serious. I'm not trashing the Browns just to be funny, Bettinger wrote. This team's in a really rough spot. And when a national writer says it that cold, you feel that old weight in your chest again. But it's not even the prediction that stings the most. It's the reason behind it. According to his breakdown, the Browns are heading into 2025 with one of the worst offensive lines in the league, a completely unsettled quarterback room, and a roster full of young guys still trying to find their footing. No solid foundation, no clear leader on offense, and a future that looks darker than a Lake Erie storm in December. And if that wasn't bad enough, he throws in the gut punch. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is out for the year. Neck injury. One of the few guys who embodied the spirit of this defense is now gone. And the locker room feels that loss. He wasn't just an edge rusher. He was a voice, a presence. So what's left? The Browns have 5 quarterbacks on the roster, and nobody, absolutely nobody, feels confident about who should start. Joe Flacco is still hanging around, clipboard in hand, like a vet who refuses to exit stage left. On the other end, you've got guys like Shedeur Sanders trying to prove they belong, but no one looks ready to lead a full-blown rebuild, emotionally or tactically.
As for the O-line, man, fans don't even need a deep dive. Protection has become a coin toss. Every snap is a gamble, and if you can't protect the QB, forget the flashy playbook or quick receivers, everything crumbles. That 3-14 projection isn't just a stat, it's a warning. It's like the analysts are saying, you don't have a plan, and until you do, the basement's your permanent address. But is that really how it ends? Because in Cleveland, we've learned to live under doubt. Sometimes when everyone else has buried you, that's when the fight kicks in. But hold on, because that's not even the biggest shock this week. Right in the middle of all this chaos, the Browns front office made a move that left fans stunned and honestly pissed off. Ogbo Okoronkwo got released, just like that. Yeah, the same Ogbo, who was a key part of the defense, Super Bowl vet, locker room leader, gone a month before training camp. No warning, nobody saw it coming. The official reason? Roster adjustment, strategic decision. But anyone who's followed this team long enough knows there's more to it. Here's the context. Ogbo was entering the final year of his 3-year deal signed in 2022. He still had juice. He was still producing. Last season alone, 37 tackles, 7.5 sacks. Not elite numbers, but solid, especially compared to some of the young guys still learning where to stand. And yet, gone. And who'd they bring in? A kicker, Andre Smith. No disrespect to the kid, but replacing a veteran pass rusher with a last-minute techer with this shaky of a roster, it raised a lot of eyebrows. Turns out the move only made sense when the numbers came out. By cutting Ogbo after June 1st, the Browns freed up $3.36 million in cap space. That opens the door for more flexibility, especially with Myles Garrett's mega extension, which now ranks as one of the highest defensive contracts in the league. Or at least it did until the Bengals countered with Jamar Chase's deal a few days later.
But even knowing the financial side, it still stings. Ogbo wasn't just another cap number. He was a leader, a steady presence. The guy on the sideline talking to Garrett, keeping the unit focused, holding things together when everything else fell apart. And now, in his place, youth, risk, hope. With Ogbo gone, the defensive line's now counting on Alex Wright, Tryon Shoyinka, and Isaiah McGuire. Talented guy, sure, but none of them have proven they can carry the load for 17 games. So here's the big question. Was it worth it? The front office thinks so. They're betting big on the young guns. They believe this rebuild needs to happen with guys still finding their way. But the time for testing is long gone, and if those guys can't step up come September, this fan base is going to want heads to roll. And hang on, because the most controversial move of the day is still coming. This is where it all starts to either make sense or feel completely unhinged. Cutting Ogbo wasn't a random mistake. It was part of a larger strategy, a high-risk, high-reward philosophy that, if it works, could make the Browns a case study. And if it crashes, well, we all know how that ends. Let's zoom in. The same front office that caught a locker room leader also decided to roll the dice on Diontae Johnson, a wide receiver with talent to spare, 28 career touchdowns, speed, explosiveness, but also a messy history. Issues with teammates, drama with 3 different franchises, off-field noise. Why take that gamble? Because the Browns are in all-or-nothing mode. According to the Anja Brown Dawg podcast, it's simple. Diontae fits the system. He's fast, shifty, and fits perfectly into the horizontal offense the Browns want to run. Get the ball to him quickly, let him work his magic in space.
Huge risk, but low cost. Diontae's on a vet minimum deal, so if it works, the Browns land a potential playmaker for pennies. If it doesn't, cut him and move on. On paper, it's a smart bet. But here's the cold side of this approach. These bets come in pairs. To make room for a potential home run swing like Diontae, someone has to go. And that takes us back to Ogbo Okoronkwo, a guy who never stirred up drama, always gave everything, always had his teammates' backs, but who on paper was too expensive for the role he was playing. Mary Kay Cabot spelled it out clearly. It was a cost-saving move. $3 million here, $2 million there. That's how you manage the cap and keep core guys long-term. And that's the plan. Keep Miles, lock in the young talent, build something that lasts. But this math comes with a punch. You gamble on the upside of a troubled player and cut the guy who kept everything steady. You chase potential because the value makes sense, but what works on spreadsheets doesn't always work in the locker room. Will the team welcome someone like Johnson who arrives with baggage after seeing a guy like Ogbo walk out the door? Will the chemistry hold when the losses start piling up? Or will the locker room fracture? That's the identity of this Browns team right now. Calculated risk, big upside, zero room for error. Either it works and the front office looks brilliant, or it fails and chaos won't even begin to describe what comes next. So that's where we're at, Dog Pound. This team is all in, shuffling the deck, cutting captains, bringing in wild cards. The only question left is, will it pay off? Will this bold strategy shut up the critics or just deepen the mess? Will the locker room buy in or blow up at the first sign of trouble? Time will tell, but fans are already on red alert. So now I want to hear from you. Is the front office on the right track or playing with fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe, because around here, we don't sugarcoat anything. We bring it raw, loud, and honest.